Okay, now we're going to talk about the World War II days.
Okay.
But I got to tell today's date. Let me see. What is today? May 2nd? Yeah. 2020. Okay. And he's 94 years old. Okay.
Thank the Lord.
I know, exactly. He's lived till,
well, you know.
I think it's cool that you've lived to your century.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the 1920s to the 2020s. That's amazing.
It is amazing.
But
I just thank the Lord, let me say that.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he's been good to me all the days of my life.
His hand has definitely been on you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Really, all the days of my life. And anyway, I graduated from high school in Hickory.
Yeah.
And my uncle had a building supply and hardware business. We sold everything to build a house with except lumber.
Everything.
And you had to go to a lumber yard back then. Didn't have no Lowe's and Home Depots like that. If you wanted wood, you had to go to the lumber yard where they sawed it up for you. And you buy the brick from a kiln. But we sold everything else, virtually everything to build a house with, even wiring. We had all that kind of stuff, light fixtures and all that stuff.
What was the name of it?
D.M. Boyd and Company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and my uncle was a really sharp businessman and a politician. And in fact, his uncle was the governor of North Carolina.
What was his name?
Clyde R. Huey.
Huey?
Yeah.
Like H-E-W?
H-O-E-Y.
Oh, okay. H-O-E.
Clyde R. Huey. But anyway, that was his uncle, his mother's brother.
Okay.
Yeah. And so Uncle Dick was a big-time Democrat politician.
Oh, okay.
And he was a campaign manager for one of the governors and did a lot of political campaigning. And so he taught me all the political shenanigans and stuff. Yeah, I didn't, but I would take him to meet with the governor.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's funny.
And a lot of times they'd meet at Lake Norman up in Charlotte.
Yeah.
At a cabin out there.
Oh, really?
But I'd drive him there, but in that cabin they had a nice pool room. They wouldn't let me on the meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just sit around in there and shoot pool and wait for him to get over the meeting. But I learned a lot about politicking, you know. My uncle would go, he would go to a mill, cotton mill.
Yeah.
Or thread mill, whichever it might be. He knew who the people to go say, get your people to vote.
Oh, okay.
The supervisors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, stuff like that. And we put up signs and and stuff all around.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's just, I learned a lot about politics from him.
Yeah.
You know, and so.
Well, I want to hear about, but after your senior, you said your mama, Gladys, came and got you.
Yeah, so I came back to Parkton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were still living in Parkton at that time?
Mama. Yeah, they were living here.
Gladys
yeah.
And George. Yeah.
Yeah, they were living here, and we were living across the railroad over there.
Oh, yeah, in that other house. They had moved from that house. Do you know why they moved?
Yeah, because that house was an old two-story house with had to have a heater in every room, and it was big, and upstairs was like a refrigerator.
Okay, so they moved to a better house.
To a nicer home.
Okay.
And we had we could heat the house we had a heater in the living room there.
Yeah.
That basically heated the front part of the house.
Okay.
And the kitchen and all it was just a lot better place.
And that's
a lot warmer, huh?
Is it the first house when you go across the railroad track?
That
the first
house. Yep, that's just the way it was.
And there was not another house on that corner because that lot's big.
That lot was still there. That was a garden for us.
Oh, really?
Yep. That was my stepdad loved the garden.
really?
And that's why he moved there.
Because he
Because
could have
had
that.
that garden, yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So anyway, they lived there until he moved to St. Paul while I was in the Navy.
Wait, yeah, so tell me about that. So when you came home, it was summertime.
Yeah.
Because you graduated
It's April.
Oh, really?
I got out April 16th, Suzanne's birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
I know.
So you came home, it was April.
Right.
So what'd you do during that time?
Well, what I did was I went to Worth Business. I went to PJC first. I spent 2 years there. But we had moved to St. Paul's in the meantime. My parents did.
Wait, when did you go join the...
I joined Navy in 42.
Okay. Oh, in 42.
43.
43.
1943. June 43.
Okay.
June the 19th.
Okay, so you just stayed home until the next summer? Or was that the same summer? Yeah, you came home. So that was that summer.
Well, 43.
Is when you graduated.
Yeah, I came back.
Okay, so that June, you weren't here very long then.
No, No, because I knew I was going to have to go to the Army or Navy or something.
You figured you'd get drafted.
Exactly right. And it was getting close to it. So I went to my Aunt Rena's house in Lillington.
Oh, yeah.
And met some guys from there in Lillington.
Yeah.
Joe Brown and Sam Mann. And we were all the same age and everything. And we were all facing
the draft.
But anyway, I went up and spent some time at Aunt Rena's and met those guys. And we all decided that we needed to go join the Navy.
Well, did you have a draft number? Didn't they give everybody a draft number, or do you remember?
I don't know. I probably did, but
yeah.
I don't know if I got it or not. I just don't remember. I don't remember.
Well, but you hadn't turned 18 yet.
No.
So you probably didn't.
No, I was 17.
So you didn't have a draft number, probably.
Probably not.
Because it was 18.
Oh, okay. I didn't have a draft number.
But you say those other two guys were 17? Or
yeah.
were they as young as you?
Yeah, we were all the same age, except well, we were all in the same age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all met up?
We decided that me and Joe Brown and Sam Mann, we decided that we would go to Raleigh and join the Navy. And so we went and talked to the recruiters and everything, and then they told us to come back on another day.
Did y'all go by yourselves? You three?
Yeah.
Did anybody go with y'all?
No.
Okay.
But
did y'all drive?
Yeah.
You drove up
Well,
there.
yeah. Sam had a car.
Okay.
And but anyway, we went to Raleigh, come back, and I came back home, but I had to get Mama to sign a paper.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd been to the recruiting office.
Right.
But they gave me the paper for Mama to sign for me to join. And I begged, and finally she consented and signed it.
So she didn't want to?
No, sir.
I bet she didn't.
But finally I just hassled so much, she just consented and signed things. Thank the Lord.
What did George say?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I guess he left it up to her.
Right.
He kind of. You know, I wasn't really his son.
Yeah.
And I guess, but he had carried me to Fort Bragg.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. And because he had that as part of his territory.
Okay.
Yeah, he had Fort Bragg, Bonnet Doon, and parts in Red Springs and St. Paul. It's his territory. But anyway, he carried me over there and showed me all this stuff they were doing. But mainly trying to discourage me about the Army, you know.
Oh, really?
Yes, because he knew I was wanting to join. But I wasn't wanting to join the Army. I was wanting to join the Navy.
Now, why did you want to join the Navy?
Because my dad was in the Navy.
Oh, he was?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yep.
How many? Not for very long though,
No.
right? Yeah, because he was young.
I know. He was, but anyway, I got the thing somewhere here.
So he was in the Navy?
Yeah.
Was he in World War One?
No.
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 Okay.
But I don't know how he was associated with it. But
Okay.
I do have the thing.
Yeah, paperwork.
Yeah.
I didn't ever know that.
Yeah, he even enrolled in Georgia Tech.
So he was in the Navy, but that's why you wanted to do
Well,
it.
I don't know exactly how he was associated with it. I don't.
But is that the reason why you thought about the Navy?
Well, no, not really. It had nothing to do with what him. It's just that I thought that seeing the Army guys here
Yeah.
and the Fort Bragg, I thought, the Navy seemed like the better deal than me.
You weren't worried about being on a ship?
No, that's the last thing I was.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I wasn't afraid of water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, water didn't scare me at all.
Yeah.
I figured I could swim in the ocean as well as I could in Hughes's pond.
That's true.
Yeah, really. I never had fear of water at all.
Yeah.
And we went to the beach.
Yeah.
So I knew what the ocean was.
Right.
So I wasn't scared of water. That didn't worry me for a minute. I never even thought about that.
So George took you around to show you stuff
Fort
about the Army?
Bragg, what's stuff there, but it really, I appreciate him doing it, but I didn't even have a thought about getting in the Army.
Okay.
Then I worked out there. I applied for a job and got a job working at Fort Bragg.
But before you went in the...
Right before I went in the Navy.
Oh.
I only worked 6 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What were you doing?
Working in a warehouse, issuing equipment to the soldiers.
Really?
Yeah, electrical equipment.
So you were a civilian? Like a GS?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
The lowest GS you can possibly be.
That's funny.
I know.
Let me make sure this is recording because I forgot to make sure. That's funny. Like a GS, when I started, I was a GS2. So was it like that or was it different?
Whatever the lowest thing you could be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember a colonel interviewed me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said, I went before him, he said, "You smoke?" I said, "No, sir." "You drink?" I said, "No, sir." He said, "You date girls?" I said, "No, sir." He said, "Well, what in the H do you do?" I said, "Every once in a while I cursed." That's all that's about all I could.
Yeah.
I think he was looking, what did you do wrong?
Yeah.
But I didn't do any of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't smoke a cigarette for a bit.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. But I didn't do it because people would say it cuts your breath and you can't be good in sports.
Yeah.
And I love sports better than I did cigarettes.
Right.
So I knew not to drink.
Yeah.
I just didn't have a desire for it.
Right.
I knew that it killed my dad.
Exactly.
And so I'm not, no.
That's how I felt too. That's how I felt too. Like alcohol can't be good,
Right. Yeah, I was like, I tasted beer one time and I thought, that's got to be the most worst thing you could impossibly drink.
That's how I felt too.
But anyway, later on I changed my mind. But
anyway, so you worked there for 6 weeks.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I worked long enough to get paid anyway, and I got it way after I was in the Navy. I didn't even get a pay while I was working there.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't even get the first check till after I was in the Navy.
But you worked there 6 weeks, right?
Yeah.
They had not got you a paycheck at that
Well,
point?
you didn't get paid but once a month.
Oh.
And
I see.
You know,
it has to catch up.
Yeah. It just worked out that way.
Wow.
But anyway,
So what made you quit?
I joined the Navy.
I know, but how did that come about? You were working already.
Yeah.
How did you just went?
Well, I just, I got up with those guys in Lillington, and we started talking about, we're going to have to go one of these days. So I just.
How did you know those guys?
Well, I went and stayed with my Aunt Rena.
Yeah.
I spent a couple of nights up there with my cousin, Jimmy Dorman. Mm-hmm. He was staying with his grandmother, Aunt Rena, my aunt. Mm-hmm. And we liked Jimmy. Jimmy Dorman was his name. He came and stayed with us a few days, and then I went back and stayed with him and met these other guys.
So was Aunt Rena his grandmother?
Yes.
Who was her
son? His dad was Aunt Rena's son.
Okay. What was his name?
Jim.
Okay.
Dorman.
Okay. And Vera was her daughter, right? Also.
Vera was her daughter.
Okay.
But she married a Cavanagh.
Okay.
Joe Cavanagh.
Okay. I got it now. Aunt Rena had 2 kids? Those 2?
Yeah, and 3.
Jimmy, Vera, and who else?
A girl.
I don't remember anybody but Aunt Vera.
Okay, had another daughter.
Okay, I don't know her.
Well, she was Reba.
Oh, okay.
Reba. And
you don't know her. Anyway, did she not live around there?
I didn't like her.
Well, she didn't live around there, right?
She lived in, she actually, she married a white who was a wealthy guy.
Oh, okay.
They were like millionaires.
But they lived in that area?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because, see, we went to see Aunt Vera. I remember going to see Aunt Vera, but I don't remember seeing...
Reba was...
highfalutin?
Yeah, exactly.
Highfalutin.
That's a good word. She was real highfalutin and above everybody else.
Well, Aunt Vera seemed down to earth.
Aunt Vera was our favorite.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she was very nice.
And all her children.
Yeah.
And Reba's they were stuck up.
Oh, okay.
Hog-heads and knuckleheads.
So you went to stay with Jimmy.
Yeah.
You went to stay with him.
Right.
And were these his friends?
The
Jimmy?
ones, well,
Sam?
Sam and them. Well, no, they were friends of JoJo's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Vera's
son, right.
Okay.
And so that's how I met them.
Oh, okay.
They didn't live far from them. They'd come over to their house a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, see, and so they were good friends with the family.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I met them. And Joe Brown, he was a friend also, and he was friend with Sam Mann.
Okay.
And
so y'all talked about it, what y'all were going to do.
Well, yeah. It's kind of like we figured out we were going to do something.
Yeah.
So we decided to go to the recruiting station in Raleigh.
Yeah, and y'all went up there.
Yeah, and so while we were there, they give us the papers to get signed.
Right.
At least I had to, and I'm sure they did. Sam may not have, but Joe Brown did. Me and Joe were the same age, so we had to get our parents to sign.
Yeah.
So we had made up our mind to, we were going to go to the Navy. And anyway, I came home and got Mama to finally talked signing the papers. I went back and I thought, I'm going to get to come home.
So did y'all all go back up there together?
Yeah, we went back and...
How'd you get there?
I rode the bus, I guess. I hitchhiked. I don't know how I got there.
Oh, you don't remember that part?
I think I probably would have rode the bus because I had to go to Raleigh.
But did you go by yourself?
No, I went with Joe and Sam.
Oh, okay. Y'all all went together?
Yes. We all went to the recruiting station together.
Okay.
And so went up there and got all the paperwork and got it, come back and got it signed by our parents.
Right.
Then we went back and we didn't realize it, but when we went back and they gave us a physical, and the next thing we know, we were on the train headed to Bainbridge, Maryland.
I think I would have been depressed.
Well, I was shocked. I thought they were going to let us come back home. No.
Wow.
They put us on the train at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. We got to Bainbridge, Maryland at 2 o'clock in the morning. And when they got us processing in everything, I think it was about 3:30 or 4.
Oh my God.
Got in the bunk, and about the time I fell asleep, boom! Hit the deck, hit the deck. It was banging on the bunks.
Oh my God.
And I didn't even sleep enough. I didn't even know my name. And the old guy at the army I worked with when I was working out there,
Yeah.
he was from Winston-Salem.
Uh-huh.
But I told him as I joined the Navy, he said, "You'll be sorry." He kept saying that every day I went to work. "You'll be sorry." And boy, that morning when they woke me up, I said, "I'm sorry."
I bet.
I did. Honest.
Wow.
Those words came back. I got up, I didn't know what I was doing.
Wow.
And they marched us in our underwear because they took our clothes the night before and put them in a box,
Wow.
sealed it up, put our address on it.
And mailed it home?
We had it had squares. Everybody was in a square with a number on it. They gave you a box.
Uh-huh.
You put your clothes in there.
Oh, okay.
Just left your underwear on. They put your clothes in there, an address label, and they sealed it.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, next morning they marched us in our underwear over to a building even before breakfast.
Well, I hope it wasn't cold, but you said it was a summertime.
Yeah, it was June.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was okay. But they marched over there and they gave us a uniform, dungarees, and a pair of shoes. And then they marched us off to breakfast. I marched down there and they had these pans with eggs in it, and they were green looking on top.
Yeah.
And pork and beans.
Wow, what a breakfast.
That's what I said. I didn't even eat nothing.
No?
No, I didn't eat nothing. I just drank some coffee.
Wow.
But anyway, I don't know. And then
I wouldn't have been able to eat the eggs, but I might have eaten the pork and beans.
I didn't eat nothing. And they had cornbread.
Oh, okay.
I never ate cornbread for breakfast in my life.
Did you eat that?
Yes, I did eat
okay.
some cornbread. That was the only thing I did eat. But anyway, so, it was just the initial thing. And the next thing they did was give us 3 shots.
Oh, really?
2 in one arm, 1 in the other.
What were those for? Like
Typhoid, tetanus, and yellow fever, something else, one yellow fever. I don't know, they gave us 3 shots. Tetanus, typhoid, and something else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what it was. Just to give us 3 shots, 2 in one arm and 1 in one.
What? Before y'all got on the bus to Maryland, did you call Gladys to tell her you're not coming home?
I didn't know. No, we got on the bus in Raleigh.
So when you got on the bus, you didn't know where you were going?
We didn't get on bus, we got on train.
Oh, the train.
Yeah, but we rode the train to Washington, to Perryville, Maryland, which is right outside of Bainbridge, Maryland, the training station.
Mm-hmm.
The train dropped us off out like at 2 o'clock in the morning. And they had a bus there to carry us to the base, which wasn't far away.
When did y'all get the call home?
Oh, it had to be it was later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They probably were waiting for y'all to come home and you never came home.
Exactly.
Well.
Of course, she knew I was going in the Navy. I guess we just figured.
That they kept you.
Right. Yeah.
So how long were y'all in Maryland?
Oh, at the Bamers, I was at Bamers a long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was a 7 weeks boot camp, but they gave us 5 days leave at the end of boot camp.
Uh-huh.
And so they gave you an opportunity to choose a school to go to. They had like Pacific Fleet, Atlantic Fleet, radio school, signal school, quartermaster school, and whatever else there might have been.
Yeah.
Radar. So I had taken Morse code at Lenore Ryan
Mm-hmm.
one summer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when they give you initial test, they do give everybody Morse code.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had never heard it before.
Right. You wouldn't know.
But I had taken the course at Lenore Ryan.
Oh, wow.
So when they did it, I knew what it was.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, that's so weird,
That is.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I went at night to do that because I could walk over to Lenore Ryan from where we live, and somebody said, they're going to teach Morse code. And I said, God, I think I'll go take it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And that was when you were living with Uncle Dick.
That's it, right.
Yeah.
So
During the
I
summer.
went and took it for, I forgot how long.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I must have come home or something. I didn't complete the course, but I had enough that I knew
Yeah.
the ABCs.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I knew what it was.
Hmm.
So when they gave it a test, nobody knew it but me. You know, people never heard.
Well, yeah. Like, if I'd have taken it, I wouldn't have a clue.
Right.
Yeah.
And actually, the first letter they gave was A. It said, did I? But if you ain't never heard it, you don't know if it's X, Y, or what.
So did they tell you how you scored on it, or did they just say, you're good at this, we're going to put you
Well,
in?
what they did was they gave that they gave everybody a test,
Right,
general test,
right.
and the code was in it. Morse code was in that
Okay.
general test.
Oh, I got you.
But you know how they design them to put you in a class.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you do well in this part of it, they know that you can probably go to radio school,
Right.
because they say, hey, this guy got code,
Right.
and nobody got it.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things like that. And then if you could type, they also, a lot of guys could type,
Uh-huh.
so they would send them to yeoman school. And yeomen were like typists and did correspondence people.
Oh, okay.
And anyway, when I went to spent my 7 weeks in boot camp and come home for 5 days.
Did you come home?
Yeah, I came to
Okay.
Parkton, right, and went back.
How'd you get home? To train?
Yeah, I rode the train.
How long did that take to get from Maryland to Parkton?
Oh, it wasn't too bad. I'm
Because I was reading about that, and they said the trains back then drove faster than they do now. So people could get there faster than they can now.
They go 80 miles an hour.
That's what it was saying.
But it didn't stop anywhere.
So you got home pretty, it wasn't
Oh,
too
yeah,
bad.
yeah, it's getting here was okay.
Okay.
But
Did you
I
drive?
mean,
Did you ride it to Parkton or Fayetteville?
Fayetteville.
Okay, because they didn't stop in Parkton.
No, they wouldn't stop here.
Okay.
If they did, they would have. They would. I mean, the only reason they'd stop here is unless it was something big or something. I mean.
Okay, so you rode the train to come home.
Yeah.
Okay, because you only had 5 days, so
Yeah.
I was wondering, like 2 days taking up travel time.
Well, it only took you a day to get here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was just a 1 day thing.
I bet you were happy to come home.
Oh yeah, Lord, yeah, man. Seemed like that 7 weeks was a year and a half.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially you didn't get to prepare mentally that you were leaving.
That was the thing. I didn't. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I mean, hey, they just took me.
So anyway, you came home. What did you do during those 5 days, or do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay.
So,
but when you went back, you had to choose. Did you
well,
say you
when I
had
went back, they had already. What they did was, whenever we left to come home,
Right.
we had a sea bag.
Okay.
They call it, and all your clothing and stuff is in it.
Okay.
And so what you did was you took your sea bag, which had all your clothes, military clothes, and they put it in a warehouse. And while we were gone, they go in there and they would get your bag and tag it. If you were assigned to the fleet, it'd say fleet.
Oh, really?
It'd say Pacific Fleet.
And they chose. You didn't choose. They chose where you were going.
But you had a choice. I put down I wanted to go to radio school.
Oh, so you had already chosen that.
Yes.
Oh,
Everybody
okay.
had a choice.
Okay.
So when I come back, it had on it RM. And right at first, I didn't know what that was. And I asked somebody, I said, what's that? They said, oh, you're going to radio school. I said, really? Yeah. I said, oh, okay. And the best thing of all was I flunked the code the first 4 weeks.
The Morris code?
Yes. Yeah. I think it's the first 4 weeks or first 8 weeks. I can't remember now which it was. Anyway, I flunked. What they would do every week, they would classify you. Mm-hmm. Let's say the first week I was able to take 5 words a minute.
Right.
Next week, 10. Mm-hmm. Next week, 15 or whatever.
Right.
However far you advance, they would put you in that class. Mm-hmm. So one of those weeks, they put me in the top class, and I flunked. I didn't know who it was going.
Really fast.
Really, and I was going.
Why did they put you in that?
Well, they just made a mistake.
Oh.
But anyway, they called me. The commandant called me to his office, and he was looking over my stuff there, and he said, "Sherrill, what happened?" I said, "You got A+ on everything except code, and you were doing good, and all of a sudden you flunked it." Mm-hmm. I said, "I don't know." And believe it or not, he had a clerk. He was sitting over there, and in a minute he said, "Captain, I know what happened." He said, "What?" "They put him in the wrong class. He was supposed to be in E, and they put him in A." He said, "Well, I reckon you did." He'd already asked me. He said, "Your grades are so good.
Yeah.
You can go to any school you want." He did. He said, "Take your choice."
Really?
Yep. He was going to sign me to another school.
Wow.
I was thankful for that.
Yeah.
Because he said, "I don't understand it."
Yeah.
I said, "Well, sir, I don't know. I just couldn't do it." But this kid comes over there, he says, "Captain, I know what happened." He said, "What?" But he's a good guy to come in. Mm-hmm. And so he said, "Well, what if I just put you back 4 weeks? Would you do that?" And I said, "Yes, sir. I'll do that." He said, "Yeah." He said, "This is understandable." He said, "So," he said, "you can go to any other school you want to now." Mm-hmm. He did offer me that. And I said, "Well, he said, but if you want to drop back 4 weeks, if you don't mind doing it."
Right.
He said, "I'll do that." And I said, "Well, let me do that, huh?"
Were you in that A class for 4 weeks?
No, I was only in that A class 1 week.
Okay.
But it was so fast.
Yeah.
Because I was way down on it.
But when he said for 4 weeks, what did you have to go back and make your way up to the A class?
Yes, I had to go back
Okay.
exactly.
Because you were supposed to do that.
I had to go back to where I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you did that?
Yeah.
And you took all 4?
Right.
And finally, when you got to the A class, you could keep up? at that point?
Yeah, you could actually you only had to be able to do 40 words a minute.
Okay.
Typing at 40 words a minute. Well, but see, I loved the typing because I always wanted to type.
Yeah.
And I was good at that because
Right.
I wanted to do that.
Right.
And I didn't even have to shift. When you're taking coach, you can do it all caps
Oh, okay.
because it's letters and numbers.
Okay.
So, but but they said, now if you want to, and a lot of them, he'd say, I'd recommend that you do shift.
Okay.
Go from caps.
Okay.
He said, learn to type numbers
Yeah.
from the home keys and shifts. I said, well, I want to do that.
Is that the first time you took typing?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right. But as a radio operator, all caps.
Okay. Yeah.
They had typewriters that had all caps.
Okay.
So I said, I'm going to do the shift thing.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I want to learn how to type.
The correct way. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I did.
Okay.
And I liked it. I wanted to know how to type. So anyway, I did it that way, which come out really good.
So that was in Maryland.
Yeah, that was in Bainbridge, Maryland.
When you had gone back and went to school, how long was your school for? 8 weeks?
24 weeks.
Oh, 24?
Yes.
Taking all that?
Well, see, we just learning Morse code. You had to also learn procedures, material, how to repair a radio if it broke.
Oh, okay.
Because, you're the radio guy on the
right.
ship.
Yeah.
They teach you how to
That's good.
repair the radio.
If it broke.
Yeah, right. So it was not just code.
Okay.
It was material too, how to repair this thing. You had to know what kind of tubes there were, like cathode tubes and whatever kind of tubes there were back then. All of it was tubes.
So you were there for 7 weeks for boot training.
Right.
Came home for 1 week, 5
Right.
days. And then you went back for 24
Yes.
weeks.
24 weeks. Actually, I turned it into 28.
Yeah, because of the extra 4.
Right. But also I had a month of dead waiting to go to school down there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, that was just sort of a period there that they're waiting for a class to start or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we just did
Duty.
KP mostly. And that was the worst part of it.
Well, you probably didn't leave Maryland till the next year, like
I went there in June.
43.
Yes, and I didn't leave till it was in the winter time when I left because it was snowing when I got on the train to go to Little Creek.
Well, it must have
It was
been.
March,
Yeah.
the next March.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It must have been, it had to be the next year. Like,
Yeah,
you
right, right.
know. Okay, so you went from Maryland to Little Creek, Virginia.
Right.
Okay.
And and there I took training with a crew. Went through all the amphibious training and everything. And the day we were ready to leave, I packed up and everything. And they were calling out names, and I was just standing there by myself, and the captain said, "Left? Hey," I said, "Captain, what about me?" He said, "Who are you?" I thought, that ain't good. That is not good. Who are you? I said, "Sherrill." He said, yeah, you were a spare just in case one other radio one got sick. Bye." They marched away. Didn't tell me nothing.
That's crazy.
And I'm serious as I can be. I was crying.
I would be too.
Yeah.
Because you had just turned 18.
Tears coming down
Yeah.
my cheek. So I took my sea bag, walked back in the Quonset hut, actually. Walked back in and threw it back on my bunk. I opened it all up and made my bunk back up. Laid down. I fell asleep.
Yeah.
And sometime later that day, some guy comes in there, hey, buddy! Like,
when you were in your bed?
I was scared.
Were you still in the bunk?
Yeah, I was still in the bed. But I had my clothes on.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
laid
yeah.
down there, yeah. He said, they leave you too? I said, yeah, did they leave you? He said, oh, yeah. I said, yeah, I was one of them spares.
Really?
But he was a cook. And he was from Texas, a guy from Texas.
Okay.
But he was like 37 years old, old man to me.
Oh, yeah.
This old guy.
Wow.
They left him. And he said, well, I said, I don't know. He said, oh, don't worry about it. I said, come on with me. So praise God. I know the Lord must have sent that guy.
That was your
I'm
angel.
serious as I can be.
That was your
I didn't
angel.
realize it at the time.
Yeah.
But he said, come on. So we went over to the headquarters, and he goes in there and said, hey, buddy, we got left behind here. What are y'all going to do with us? I mean,
Yeah, that's good. You had somebody older and experienced.
yes, like I said, he was 37.
Yeah.
So he won't worry a minute.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on. And then, hey, buddy, what are y'all going to do with us? First of all, says, can't we get off of this base if we want to? He was figuring on he wanted to get off.
Yeah.
And the guy said, yeah, we'll give you a pass if you want it. Whenever you want a pass, come back over here, we'll give it to you. And then he said, we know who you are. He told us, report to a building at 7:30 every morning.
Was there any soldiers?
It's all sailors.
Were there other sailors there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Stallions.
Okay. I didn't know if y'all were the only two left on the whole base.
No, man. They would have like 200 or 300 every morning for muster. And they do work details.
Okay.
They take you somewhere and let you do some little work. Not
So
much
y'all
of
just
it.
had to show up somewhere?
You showed up every morning. They called a roll.
Was your name on the roll?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they knew you were there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what that guy told us the first thing.
Okay.
Because he said, we know who you are.
Okay.
So it's like he told us right quick that they knew we were there.
Okay.
And they did.
Okay.
Yeah, they just have a big meeting every morning and they call the roll. And they do work details. And they had lots of small boats there.
Yeah.
And most of the time they'd have water in them, and they'd let you go over there and pump the water out and go do whatever you wanted to do the rest. They had playing softball and all kind of stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, and then they had some work details, You had to work in the kitchen or mess hall or something.
But where did those others, the ones that left you behind, where were they going?
They were going to pick up a ship.
And getting on it?
Yes, they formed a crew. What they did, they formed crews. You were initially just somebody there, and then they would assign you to a crew.
So they were going to war, basically.
Yes.
But were you kind of happy you weren't on there?
Well, see, what happened was they assigned me to this crew.
Yeah.
Which happened to be the LSM 313. Eventually it came out to be that. I didn't know it at the time.
Right.
But they assigned me to that crew, and I went down on a shakedown cruise and everything with them. And we trained actually at sea and everything, but it's out in the Atlantic, Chesapeake Bay.
Right.
And so when you've completed that, then they would ship you to like Houston, Philadelphia, New Orleans, Florida, Fort Myers, Florida. Anyway, they would ship you to those places.
So where did your crew go that left you behind?
My crew went to Houston.
Okay, so that's where you would have gone if you had been chosen to go on that.
The other crew, I don't know where they went.
I mean, I'm talking about the one that left you behind. The crew that left you behind.
Yeah, I don't know where they went.
Oh, you don't know?
No.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea. They just marched off and left. They didn't tell me nothing.
Okay, so you have no idea what ship you would have been on.
No, I don't have the foggiest idea.
Okay, well, what happened to Sam and...
Oh, I don't know. Oh, they went to school. But they went to med school.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sam and Joe?
they chose to go there. So they were corpsmen, med corpsmen.
Okay, so y'all parted ways after that.
Yeah, I never saw them again.
Okay.
Yeah, I never saw them again.
Okay.
And ironically, I met a guy, George Spencer was his name, from Greensboro. So we palled around while I was, and we were both radio men. And we're going, of course, we'd already been to radio school. But what they did, they just made us take refresher courses. You go back and take, you know, give you something to do.
Right.
And so we palled around together until we both left.
And that's back at the
Little Creek.
Little Creek. Okay.
Yeah, it's back at Little Creek. And George became real good friends. And
is that what RM stood for, radio man?
he was a radio man. We both were radio guys.
Yeah.
And so, believe it or not, we become real close friends. Of course, he went, you know, one way and I went the other.
Yeah.
But it was in New Guinea, and I was on a work detail. We went to pick up supplies, and I was waiting for our ship, our boat, not our ship, to come get us and take us out to our ship.
Oh, okay.
And this hospital ship, Mercy, was there, and they were bringing sick people off because they had a hospital there in New Guinea, and they're bringing people off. And Lord, here come George with a bandage over his eye.
Oh my God.
And I said, what in the world happened to you? But George was bad luck, Joe.
Oh.
The cloud was over him.
Oh, man.
I mean, really. Seemed like if somebody stole something off of the clothesline, it was his. Every time we started to go somewhere, he'd go out to get his hat and somebody stole it.
Wow.
It's true. I'm serious. I said, he's like been a black cloud over his head.
If it weren't for bad luck, he'd have
He
no
didn't
luck
have
at all.
any at all. I promise you.
That's funny.
It just seemed that way with him.
So what happened to his eye?
Well, it's like this. We went downtown Norfolk. We get a bumper cars.
Yeah.
We were riding around in the bumper cars. And I saw this sailor's white hat out on the floor down there. It was greasy. People running over it. Guess whose it was?
George's.
George.
Oh my gosh. He must have been careless.
I almost knew it was his. Because I'm serious, every time we started to go somewhere, somebody had stole something from the clothesline. It was his.
Wow.
But,
Poor George.
Anyway, so George gets his cap and it's all greasy. And the guy worked in he had a bag. And so he gave him the paper bag and put the head in it because it's all greasy. Them old bumper cars.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so we're going down the street in Norfolk. And the MP, or SP, Shore Patrol. You do not walk around without a hat on.
Yeah.
It's a so where's your cap? And he said, why aren't you wearing it? And George, he took the bag and showed it to him.
Right.
And he said, well, I was going to give you a DR, but I don't blame you. I wouldn't wear it either. He said, get on that first streetcar and go straight back to the base.
Oh, really?
You can't walk around up here without a cap.
Okay.
Yeah. But we were going back anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the streetcar go right up to the gate almost.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we got on and went back. But that was George.
Yeah. So what happened to his eye when you saw him?
So, So I can't believe I saw him.
Yeah, I
I
know.
said, what? Of course, I wasn't really shocked.
Yeah.
I said, George, what happened? Yeah. He said, oh, my buddy, we were messing around at the dinner table, and he was going,
Oh.
and he accidentally stuck it in my eye, over my eye.
Oh.
I said, yeah, I knew that's him.
Oh, my gosh.
And he said, I'm going back to the ship. he said, they want me to go to stay over in that hospital. I said, go stay in that hospital. Do not go back to that ship.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do that. I said, George, go stay in the hospital. Don't go back to that ship. I did. I tried my best to get him not to go back.
Right.
Because he's going into combat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he knew that, right?
Oh, yeah, he knew it. Yeah, I mean, hey. So I said, well, George, you don't, I tried my best to talk him out of it, but he went anyway. Unfortunately, a round come through hit him right in the stomach. And it killed him dead as a doornail.
On the ship?
Yeah.
He was on?
Yeah, I went back. I said, don't go back. George, don't go back. Of course, I kind of understand, you know.
Yeah.
You don't, if you don't go back, you're going to get assigned to another ship. But for some reason, I tried my best to talk him out.
Did other people get killed too, like when he did?
Oh, I don't know. I actually don't know because I really don't know because we met up with the guys off of his ship.
Yeah.
And we had met up with them before because I met him in New Guinea. But anyway, I met up with the guys in Samar, and I was asking the guy, you know.
Like where he was?
Yes. He said, he got killed. I said, what? He said, yeah. Said, a round come through the bulkhead and hit him right in the stomach. He said he was leaning back from the radio and said if he'd have been sitting forward, it probably would have never hit him. But he had just leaned back and it hit him right in the stomach.
But now, is that who, like where did those shots come from?
The Japs were firing at him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
From like an airplane? Or a ship?
Well, I think it was, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't really say about that now. It could have been shore battery but I think it was from a shore battery.
Oh, okay. They were on shore?
They were making a landing. Had to be. It probably was. Most of the time, a Jap crash dived you.
Yeah, so it wouldn't have been that.
They probably could have been strafing, but it's more like a shore battery, I'm thinking.
Okay.
The way he described it, but I don't know.
All right, so wait, go back to when you were at by yourself. Back at Little Creek. How long were you at Little Creek?
March to June, maybe. March to...
And where did you go?
April, May, June. Went to Houston, Texas.
So you went to Texas after that?
Yes, went from Little Creek to Houston, Texas, and they built a ship in Houston.
Your ship? The ship you ended up on?
Yes, they laid the keel the day we arrived there.
What's that mean?
They started building it.
Oh.
The keel. And it took them 30 days to build it.
The ship?
Yeah.
It only took 30 days? Wow.
Oh, yeah, they was turning out ships like...
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had that thing down pat.
And that was Houston?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep, Houston, Texas. I didn't even know there was any river into Houston.
Yeah, I know, really.
I thought it was land.
Yeah.
But the river runs up from Galveston up to Houston.
Okay.
So...
so you got orders to leave Little Creek? So what they just tell you one day, time for you to...
Well, they assigned me to another crew.
Okay.
So what they did was I trained with them.
You did?
Yeah.
Where at?
In Little Creek.
Okay.
Yeah, they form a crew.
Okay, so they assigned you. You were...
Yes, that's my second crew.
Okay.
Like I said, when they left me, I liked all the guys and everything.
Yeah.
And I was by myself, and then they reassigned me.
Right.
But anyway, it turned out to be the best.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it really did. It turned out to be the very best.
The Lord knew what he was doing.
Exactly. Yep, I look back,
You see his hand on you.
Yep.
So you got sent to Houston.
I didn't understand it at the time, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, I thank the Lord that He did, because I had a lot of good experiences.
Yeah.
And some, that I would never experience some of the stuff we experienced on our ship, because we were only 10 LSMs out of 500 that earned 5 battle stars.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
10 out of 500.
That is amazing. And when yours was one of them?
One of them.
Wow.
Yep.
How did they earn that? How did you?
The battles in an engagement, like when we invaded the Philippines, that initial invasion is a battle star. Then we did a invasion on Ormoc. That was a battle star there because of engagement and everything. And then we got one by ourselves on Fort Drum.
Oh, really?
Yes, we would give a battle star for that, blowing it up. And it's the only one we ever even got of course, had one guy wounded at that. It's the only time we ever got anybody injured.
Wow.
But very fortunate.
Oh.
And like I said, we passed by ammunition ship, like from here to that house almost. It blew up. And we hadn't been by there more than 5 minutes, maybe.
That's crazy.
When that thing blew up. And I mean, when it blew up, it blew up. It left the face of this earth with 600 and some guys. I was looking straight at it.
What part of the war was that?
That was happened in the Admiralty Islands, Manus Island, and the New Hebrides, but it was, we don't know. Nobody knows what happened. It was an ammunition ship, and it's a lot of stuff on it.
What part of the year? What part of the? You remember the date of that? Kind of like month or year? Or?
Yeah, let's see. It was like October, maybe.
40.
Of course, it's warm out there, huh?
Wait.
October 44.
4. Okay.
44.
So, wait a minute. You went to Houston. You got assigned to that Houston group.
Yeah, I got assigned the ship.
Do you remember what time of year that was?
That was June.
So
June.
July. Of 44?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
All right, so then you went down to Houston, and then y'all went out to sea from there, or?
Yes. Well, we picked up our ship, and we went to Galveston and did a shakedown cruise and come back, and what they do is they degauge your ship. They wrap wires around your ship, and they degauge it. They demagnetize the metal so that your compass will work.
Oh.
They call it degauging.
I know. I didn't know about that.
Yeah. If you don't, the compass will go.
Okay.
So they degauge the ship.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, then we left there and went through the Panama Canal.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I was glad to get to do that.
That's neat.
And then we went, for 19 straight days, we sailed to Bora Bora.
How was that?
And in the Society Islands, where Tahiti is, those were the... Bora Bora today is a vacation place.
I know. What did it look like back then? Did you get to see much of it?
Well, even back then, there was a refueling station, but they fenced it off. They would not let us go on that island.
Really?
No, and they had a king there.
Really?
Yes.
That's neat.
And they had a movie, and they let us go to the movie.
Oh, at Bora Bora?
At Bora Bora. It's a refueling station.
Okay.
So the Navy had built this open, well, it kind of had just a roof over it with a lot of seats in it. And the king came. And they told us, they said, now when the king comes, we're going to call your attention. You got to get up and stand at attention.
Right.
And the natives are going to bow.
Okay.
So when they said, hoot, and all the natives got down, we all stood up at attention. The king comes in and sits down in a special seat to watch the movie. And then whenever it was over, they he leaves and the natives bow.
Well, now, what? But it was on the American territory?
It's on the island of Bora Bora.
But was that American, area? What kind of movie was it? Was it American?
Oh, the movie was, yeah. If the Navy did the movie.
That's what I'm saying. That was U.S. Navy doing it.
Yeah, right.
But did they understand it? Were they
Well,
watching?
they went.
Yeah, so you don't know if they could understand
Well,
it.
most of those people were speaking English.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now, some of them weren't, but a lot of them were. But that was a place that did a lot of trade in coconuts.
Okay, so they may have spoken.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was not like the New Hebrides, for instance. Now, there, we hit the beach there, and this guy comes out of the jungle with a spear and a shield. And he grins and his teeth are black. And he's grinning at us. And so I asked one of the soldiers there, a Marine. I said, what about black? He said, they eat a betel nut that makes their teeth black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was like the movie.
Oh, yeah.
I'm serious as I can be.
Wow.
It was just like the movie. He comes out of the jungle, but he's grinning.
Yeah.
Well, that's
good that he was grinning.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, we knew it was okay because we wouldn't have been there if it hadn't been.
Yeah, right. Because the Marine, you said, was already there.
Right.
So wait a minute. So y'all left Bora. So that's all y'all did in Bora Bora was just refuel?
Yeah, we refueled and left. It was really a pretty place. Really was.
I can imagine.
Yeah, that bay in there was like clear. You could see the bottom, just white sand.
Wow.
It was really pretty. You could see all the fish.
Wow.
And barracuda.
Oh, I wouldn't get in the water with a barracuda.
Huh?
I wouldn't want to get in the water with a
No,
barracuda.
me neither. And those natives were in their boats.
Oh, okay.
And they rode out and they had stalks of bananas. And them things were that long. They were big. Man, them were best bananas.
I bet.
Yes.
Fresh bananas.
And they sell you a whole stalk for 50 cents.
Wow.
I know. But who could eat all of them? I couldn't.
Yeah.
But I hadn't eaten a thing that I didn't throw up for 19 days.
You didn't eat?
I ate it, but I'd always throw it up.
Oh, because you were seasick?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Was it really rockety?
Yeah. And then my radio shack, the engine room was right below, and that fuel oil, God, man, that's what I hated.
Well, that would make me sick.
Yeah.
To smell that.
Yeah.
Why'd they do that?
But
so anyway, where'd y'all go from Bora Bora?
We went to then went to New Hebrides, and that's where
the guy with the shield came out. Where's that at?
New Hebrides is kind of hard to tell. It's somewhere near.
So was it an island?
Basically, it's in the South Pacific below the equator, but it's near New Guinea, maybe. In that,
but it's an island.
Yes.
Okay.
There's more than one of them. New Hebrides.
Okay.
Plural. Espirito Santo was the actual island.
Okay.
Espirito Santo.
And how long were y'all there?
Just overnight or day. Not over a day or two.
Okay.
We weren't there very long.
Did it have stuff on the island? Was it civilized, like buildings or nothing?
I didn't see it.
Okay.
But there were Marines stationed there.
Yeah.
At one time, anyway. But they had somebody had thrown over a crate of shoes, Marine shoes, in the jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of the guys had gone ashore and come back with these brand new shoes.
Oh.
And they, where you get those? Because everybody wanted some, you know.
Yeah.
We didn't like them old black slippers. We wanted those shoes. They were high-top shoes.
Okay.
And rough. And the guy said there's a whole crate of them, all sizes.
On that island?
Yeah.
Well,
Somebody had thrown it over in the woods. The Marines, I reckon.
But were the Marines still there?
No,
Oh,
they'd
okay.
moved out.
Okay, so
They
they
probably
left them.
just threw them over there.
Okay.
So we all went there and got shoes. Everybody got their shoes. You can see some pictures. You'll
Really?
see all of us not wearing Navy shoes. We're wearing those shoes.
That's funny.
Yeah, everybody went and got shoes, man. And that's all we wore after that.
That's funny.
But see, one of the things that I really liked is when I finished radio school, I had a mentor, a chief warrant officer. Lovejoy is his name.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was my mentor. And so I went and talked to him. And I asked him, I said, where do you think would be the best place for me to go, put the goat? Because you had a choice. You get the Pacific Fleet, Atlantic Fleet,
Right.
Solomon Island Training Base in Florida, amphibious forces in Little Creek.
Yeah.
And he said, go to the amphibs. I said, really? He said, yeah, I ain't got no regulation. He said, you'll like that?
Yeah.
I know.
That's great.
I know. And they only had 17 slots.
Really?
Yeah. Pacific had 75, Atlantic 75.
Wow.
And Solomon Island maybe 15 or something, and Little Creek had 17. So I put in for Little Creek and got it.
Good.
So, I know.
Wow.
And then I knew it was closer to home.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I put in for that, and I got it.
So that's how you got to go to Little Creek.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they gave me a choice,
Yeah.
and everybody wanted to be in the fleet. You know, that sounds big time and all. I thought I'll take this little stuff over here.
That's great.
I know, but I asked Chief Lovejoy,
Yeah.
and he said,
So
put in for Little Creek.
That's
I'm
funny.
fifth.
Let me check the video.
Okay.
I always want to check it to make sure it's still going. Oh, yeah. Oh, see. Yeah. Oh, shoot. I hope that didn't mess
It's
it up.
low.
Okay. I got to charge his battery up.
Okay. But anyway, that was a thing that.
Let me get a cord.
Okay.
Do you need to take a break?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. I got to get a cord, Bo. Bo, you doing all right? I will. Give me a second. Let me plug this in.